I am a transplanted Jersey boy. I first came to Virginia in September of 1965 to start my education at the Virginia Military Institute. Just about 3 weeks earlier, on August 20th, the valedictorian of the VMI class of 1961, Jonathan Daniels, was shot and killed in the town of Hayneville, Alabama. You may or may not know Jonathan's story. He was an Episcopal seminarian who went to Alabama to take part in voting rights activity in Selma and Montgomery. He died protecting a teenage girl, Ruby Sales, from the shotgun blast of a part-time deputy sheriff who was blocking them from buying a soft drink at a local general store. A Catholic priest, Richard Morrisroe, was also seriously wounded in the incident. In 1991, Jonathan was designated a modern-day martyr in the Anglican Church. He is now remembered by the church every August 14th. That's tomorrow. It took a while for me to connect with the Jonathan Daniels story. During my time at VMI, he was not celebrated as one of the school's most significant alumni, as he is today. A number of years ago, however, I started reading and learning about the life and death of Jonathan Daniels. I found out that I shared this interest with a classmate, Tom Jones. I also found out that Tom Jones was regularly attending a civil rights pilgrimage in Hayneville. The pilgrimage honors Jonathan Daniels and 14 other Alabama martyrs. After lots of encouragement, I finally agreed to join him in August of 2016. The weekend in Alabama was an eye-opening experience for me. What I started out as a I'll check it out adventure turned into an immersion in the issues of racial inequality in the 60s and a contemplation about how much had and had not changed since Jonathan's times. I better understood the courage of Rosa Parks refusing to move to the back of the bus after I visited her museum in Montgomery. I stood at the foot of the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma and reflected on what happened there on Bloody Sunday in March of 1965. And of course, I participated in the pilgrimage in Hayneville. The pilgrimage visits the important sites of the last few weeks of Jonathan's life, including the substandard, overcrowded jail where he was held for participating in a voting rights protest, and the site of the general store where he was killed. The store is gone, but the site is sacred. The march takes place in the midday, mid-August Alabama heat. The oppressive heat punctuates the pilgrimage experience. The day ends with an emotional ceremony in the same courthouse where Jonathan's killer stood trial and was acquitted. When I think back to that ceremony in the courthouse, I remember the reading of the names and stories of the 15 martyrs of Alabama, the ringing of a bell for each one of them, and the continued chant of the words of the prophet Isaiah. I'll go. If the Lord needs somebody, here I am. Send me. Each individual story is as compelling as the Jonathan Daniels story. To me, the most poignant was the acknowledgement of 4 little girls killed in 1963 at the bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham. I returned from that weekend with a better appreciation of Jonathan's sacrifice and the sacrifices of many other ordinary people. My pilgrimage story, however, doesn't end there. A year later, on the exact weekend of the Jonathan Daniels pilgrimage, a group of tiki torch-carrying white supremacists marched across the grounds of the University of Virginia, shouting, "You will not replace us." The irony of these two events happening on the same weekend was not lost on me. It became even clearer to me that the Jonathan Daniels pilgrimage was not just a commemoration of a long ago event in a faraway place, but a reminder of the work that still needs to be done as we strive for true racial and ethnic equality in this country. I knew on that day that I had to return to Hayneville. I made it back in 2019, this time with my wife Martha. The event had an extra special meaning to me since I could now share that experience with her. On this trip, we were fortunate to spend some personal time with Richard Morrisroe, no longer a priest, but certainly a special person at this event. When it comes to my own post-pilgrimage experiences, I often wonder if I'm living up to those beautifully chanted words that I hear playing in my head. I'll go if the Lord needs somebody. Here I am. Send me. Perhaps the sharing of this reflection is a good first step.